This is how to make Bumbleberry Crumble and Buttermilk ice cream. Bumbleberry is a term used to describe mixed berries, usually to mean at least 3 different types of berries. Today I found fresh strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and blackberries to use. I baked the fresh berries with a crumble dough to make a very fast and simple mixed berry treat with a cookie crust. Served slightly warm with a scoop of buttermilk ice cream makes this dessert memorable. I think people don't give buttermilk a fair chance as an option for their frozen treats. Buttermilk changes when it is cooked into a custard. The bitter aftertaste fades, but the sour taste remains. A little lemon zest changes the custard once again into a citrusy, sweet and sour tang that is perfect for a bumbleberry crumble. This is how to make Bumbleberry Crumble in 3 125 milliliter mason jars. I scaled 250 grams of my berry mixture of strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries, about equal amounts of each, into a mixing bowl, and set the bowl aside. In another bowl, I have 40 grams of cold butter cut into little pieces, and add 50 grams of stone ground cake flour and 50 grams of vanilla sugar. I mix the flour and sugar into the butter by gently rubbing the mixture between my fingers for a few minutes. It helps to have all of the ingredients very cold and to work quickly before the butter melts. A fork or pastry cutter will work too, but I prefer to use my fingers. I place a little bit of the crumble dough on the bottom of the 3 125 milliliter mason jars. This will help absorb some of the extra juice from the berries and make the crumble easier to eat. I divided the berries equally between the 3 jars and pressed them down slightly to make room for the crumble topping. I divided the crumble topping between the 3 jars and placed the jars in a high-sided frying pan. The frying pan makes it easier to transport the jars to and from the oven and will catch the berry juice as it bubbles up over the edge of the jars. I baked the bumbleberry crumbles in a 350 Fahrenheit oven for 45 minutes. The crumbles are cooked when the juice bubbles up in the center of the crumble and the crumble dough is nicely browned. I transferred the boiling hot jars to a wire rack to cool. The crumbles taste best as they are cooling down or at room temperature. To make buttermilk ice cream, I separated 4 eggs for the yolks and added the zest of a small lemon into a mixing bowl. I added 60 grams of cane sugar, 200 grams of high-fat cream, and 200 grams of buttermilk. I quickly combined the ingredients and transferred them to a Ziploc freezer bag. I like to drape the bag inside a wide-mouthed mason jar and use a jar filling funnel to make it easier to fill the bag. I remove the excess air from the freezer bag and make sure the seal is closed. I like to cook custard sous vide style because there is less of a chance to curdle the eggs. I use an immersion circulator to heat a water bath to 85 degrees Celsius and added the freezer bag to the water bath. I fastened the closing end of the bag over the edge of the water bath, fastened the lid, and set a timer for 1 hour. I transferred the cooked custard to an ice bath to cool down before adding the bag to the refrigerator to mature overnight. Allowing the custard to rest overnight thickens the custard and allows the dairy, egg, and lemon flavors to develop together. I always make the custard a day before I use it. However, a few hours at refrigerator temperature will help if I'm in a hurry. Pouring a warm custard into an ice cream machine creates a strangely textured ice cream that becomes icy instead of smooth and creamy, and the taste is usually quite bland. I chilled down the bowl of an electric gelato machine and strained the custard through a fine mesh sieve to remove the lemon zest and make the custard silky smooth. When the bowl of the gelato machine looks frosty, I turn on the paddles and add the custard. The ice cream is ready when it is coming away from the sides of the bowl and looks like soft serve ice cream. I packed the ice cream into 125 milliliter mason jars with tightly fitted lids and placed the jars in the freezer to harden.